Hey, what up, peeps? It's Anton from the Pop Culture Podcast. On this podcast, my good friend John and I discuss the pop culture that we consume, and we look at it through the lens of fatherhood. We want to know if our perspective as dads impacts how we react to films, music, TV, sports, or whatever. So I recently watched Gemini Man, and I've got some thoughts. Well, I guess more like reflections. It's directed by Ang Lee. I really loved his older movies like Crouching Tiger and Brokeback Mountain. But these days, I feel like he's more like George Lucas and James Cameron, where they're more interested in the technological aspects of filmmaking. Obviously, spoilers ahead, so continue at your own peril. So real quick, I wanted to point out some of the visual motifs I noticed.
Henry, why are you retiring?
Finding myself avoiding mirrors lately.
Hey, you know who isn't avoiding mirrors? The audience. As Henry reflects on his career, we literally see reflections.
Oh, and I actually looked in a mirror the other day.
Really?
It wasn't horrendous.
Subtle much?
Your world is stable and dependable. I made sure of that. You have something that Henry himself never had. You have a loving, dedicated, present father who tells you every goddamn day that you are precious and that you matter.
So I know that this is a fatherhood podcast, but I'm not really that interested in what the movie is saying about the father-son relationship. I'm much more interested in what happens concurrently when you raise kids.
Yeah, you look old.
And that's getting old. It occurred to me that a lot of the TV shows and films that resonated with me over the past year revolved around older characters who are reflecting back on their careers. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishmen are probably the standout ones from late last year. But 2019 started with True Detective Season 3, which leaned heavily on this theme. And I think a big part of it is because I grew up with these guys. I watched Growing Pains and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air every week when I was young. And now these actors are playing characters that are close to my age. These characters are reflecting on their lives in the same way that I'm reflecting on mine. If you saw a younger version of yourself, what would you tell him or her? What advice would you give?
Look, I just made a lot of mistakes when I was young, and I'd actually like to make some of those mistakes myself. What I'm trying to say is I made them already, so you don't have to.
Yeah, but he's not you.
I'm gonna be okay. If you're okay, I'm okay.
Yo, real talk. I'd probably tell young Anton to be a TikTok creator. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give us a like and subscribe. And be sure to follow us at Pop Culture Pod. Peace out.